Milpitas, 2025 Board President Chris Norwood, welcome to the meeting of the Milpitas Unified School District Board of Education. We appreciate your attendance to our education proceedings, which align with the guidelines set forth by the Ralph M. Brown Act for open meetings. Tune into our hybrid style meetings online on either Zoom or YouTube, in person inside of our boardroom at Randall World Languages School. Public comments can be made while you're logged into Zoom, or if you're in person. YouTube, however, is a listen-only option. If you're unable to do either of these, please visit our written public comments webpage for instructions on how to submit your written public comment. One public comment per person is allowed for each item. Scott, roll call for our student board reps.
Okay, Student Board Rep Chung from MHS.
Reports now?
No, it's just your roll call. So you just say here.
Here.
All right, and our Student Board Rep from Middle College, Ms. Gupte.
Here.
And our Cal Hills, let me see if she is online. No, and Student Board Rep Rocha did have to work, but was gonna join online when she could.
Okay, thank you. Vice President Yvonne, any closed session announcements?
The board took no actions.
Thank you. Item 8 on the agenda, review and approve the open session agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion to review and approve the open session agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Seeing none, motion carries. Flag salute.
Here today presenting the pledge, we have Echo Platoon, which is our Thomas Russell Middle School 8th grade program for NJRTC. At this time, I'd like to request the audience to please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Let's give our NJRTC a round of applause. Item 10 on the agenda, MUSD strategic commitments. Let's start with our student board reps.
Build a culture of we that engages parents, staff, and community partners in supporting student success.
Improve communication systems for better outreach to parents, students, and staff.
Develop educational pathways that allow students to apply their passion in learning for their future careers.
Focus services and support systems to ensure that all students are engaged in their learning and are making social, emotional, and academic gains.
Identify creative, student-focused strategies to accommodate enrollment growth and ensure healthy learning environments.
Thank you, everyone, for your support. Item 11 on our agenda, superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Norwood. So for tonight's State of the District update, I'm focusing on building strategic commitment number 1, building a culture of we. Here we see at our fall festival at our Children's Development Center, one of our youngest learners who is participating in hands-on experience where our learners learned about the world around them, particularly the environment, the seasons, and also the community. And we had about 104 learners participating, as well as their families and 30 different team members who helped to make this happen. You also see, looking at our average daily attendance, that we are plateauing a little bit with a slight slip. But if you compare our current month's ADA, which is 96.4, to August, it is 1 point lower. I know in August, kids, parents, families are excited about being at school. And it's November, and now we're excited about Thanksgiving break coming up. And it's really important for each of us to remember that the best step to success is the first one through the school doors and in your classrooms. So please, let's get that 97% back up, because that means 97% of our learners are here every single day, interacting with other learners and doing the wonderful things that their teachers and also all of the classified team members have in store for them.
Superintendent, is there any recommendations health-wise as well? We know that it's getting colder, and there's colds and sniffles going on as well.
Well, since you asked, yes, I would say one is if you have a cold and sniffles, I noticed even tonight in our board meeting that it's become a norm since COVID for people who are feeling that they have sniffles or something going on to wear a mask to school and to work. So thank you for being considerate of others. And I'm going to get my flu shot this week. I hope that everybody else is too, if they haven't already.
Thank you.
Next, we have 3 examples of building a culture of we, which also you could identify examples for strategic commitment number 3, which is building pathways for learners, where learners are able to experience learning in different ways that are real time and very meaningful to them. For example, the San Jose State Spartan football team did the first of several interactions with Rose Elementary students, and about 150 of our students participated after school with the San Jose State recess takeover at Rose. Each of the San Jose Spartan football players, and just so happens the one in that picture that you see is a MUSD alumni and also played on our MHS football team, and happens to be related to this person on my right. And that is John Norwood. But what they plan to do throughout the year with the students at Rose is mentoring and also building opportunities for them to learn different aspects of sport and teamwork. And we know from employers that teamwork is one of the #1 pieces of strategies and skills that they look for in employees. We know that actually because at Manufacturing Day, the general manager who was taking us on a tour pointed out that their biggest emphasis is team, and that's why they had team all over the place as you walk down the corridors and along the office spaces and on the workroom. Next, we have Ruby Bridges Walk to School, which the state of California approved in 2021, making November 14th Ruby Bridges Day. And it was actually some 5th graders in South San Francisco who several years back thought that Ruby Bridges should have a day honoring her and the heroic first step that she made in integrating public schools. And so I was excited to see that we had 3 of our own schools participating this year, Senate, Rose, and Randall. And next year, I want to see all of our schools participating in Ruby Bridges Day, which can be as simple as walking to school and wearing purple. Next, you see a picture of our student leaders who convened for our annual Jack Emery kickoff. And this year, we had our 2nd annual board superintendent, board president, vice president, superintendent, student leaders convening. And this year we focused on what does it mean to build a culture of we, and how as student leaders do you provide the modeling and also the culture building around that, so that when we hear somebody who is not being kind to another, we stand up for them. And we remind each other that this is a campus where everybody is striving to belong and everyone is striving to be their best. And later tonight, we're going to hear from a few of our student leaders who have done things that exemplify what it means to build a society where everyone belongs. And on that same note, a few weeks ago, we launched our Build a Culture of We video. We are inviting students to create a video that represents what does it mean to build a culture of we. And the winning videos are going to be presented before our board meetings, also in our social media, in our advertising that we have at Smart and Final on the checkout stands, as well as at the school's reader boards as you drive down the street. So this is a great way for our students to demonstrate their communication skills and also to experiment with and enhance what they can do on video, podcasting, and putting together social media marketing. And that concludes my superintendent's report of the state of the district. Now, I would like to do some recognitions. Board members, if you would join me at the front of the dais, and our cabinet as well. I would like to first recognize Amari Sims. Some of you may know him. He was a student leader at Rancho Milpitas Middle School, and he is now at Milpitas High School as a freshman. And Amari recognized last year that there are some people who can't fully participate in the trick-or-treating that takes place on October 31st with Halloween. So he championed a different way of making sure everyone feels included. So Amari, could you please come up and share what that is?
Good evening, President Chris Norwood, Superintendent Cheryl Jordan, board members, and everyone here tonight. Thank you so much for recognizing me. This really means a lot. The Teal Pumpkin Project is personal for me because I've lived with food allergies my entire life. I was the kid who had to ask what was in everything or sometimes couldn't join an activity. Even on Halloween, I had to give most of my candy away because it wasn't safe for me. Those moments stick with me. That's why this Teal Pumpkin Project is so important. FAIR, Food Allergy Research and Education, created it to help kids with food allergies feel safe and included. A teal pumpkin shows students there are non-food treats like stickers or small toys so that everyone can participate without worry. This is the second year I've brought teal pumpkins and non-food treats to Milpitas schools, and the support has been amazing. It was especially meaningful to drop off teal pumpkins at the Wellness Center at Milpitas High, knowing that students could walk in and feel included. I also recently had an honor of accepting a Fair Allies and Champions Award on behalf of CVS, which is a partner in supporting the Teal Pumpkin Project. It was really a proud moment for me and reminded me why this work matters. I hope you will all consider joining the Teal Pumpkin Project and adding a teal pumpkin to your home. Even one small pumpkin can make a difference for a child. Thank you again for this recognition and supporting something that means so much to me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amari, and thank you for continuing to advocate and to really be a model for others on what it means to stand up for inclusion and belonging in a culture of we. If we could have your family join us now, and also I see several of our Milpitas High School team members, if you could come as well, including Principal and Chief Innovator Greg Woolman. And while the spotlight is on Amari, I do want to say that he also has a father who is one of our exceptional teachers, Mr. Diallo Sims, over at Rancho. And one of our other exceptional teachers is Ms. Carrie Clemente from Senate Elementary. She was recognized. She was recognized recently at Santa Clara County Office of Education in their spotlight on Teacher of the Year. Carrie, would you share a few words with us about this honor?
I was not prepared to speak here. It was exciting and surprising, and it was nice to have support from everybody. Oh, I see some Senate kiddos here. And I wanted to recognize my students too. So I brought you, they just published the first school newspaper of the year. So I brought you a copy of that. Yeah. There should be enough for everybody.
And this is an example of why Ms. Clemente stands out. And I've known her for quite some time, and she's always a person who goes above and beyond. And I was really excited to be able to celebrate with you and with your family, and I'd like to invite them up. Mr. Clemente and kiddos. And some of you might recognize Mr. Clemente, who's been a coach for us for many years and recently joined us as a teacher over at Milpitas High School. Principal Burrows and Senate family, please come on up, including kids. Senate alumni. Yes, that's some of our news reporters. Leading up our girls volleyball team is our teacher, Ms. Marissa Canez, also a Rancho alumni. And along with their assistant coaches, Jeff Lamb and Naomi Lacuzong. And also, is Coach Corbin here? Okay. And the team. So if you can come on up so we can recognize you for CCS champions. Coach. Coach. Go. You want us to find out now? Yes, deal. And while you're doing that, Coach, could you please share a bit about the about our athletes year this year?
This is a special group of girls, and just their chemistry this year was different. And from the very first tournament we played together, that was one of the first things I said was, this is a very special group, and I'm looking forward to their chemistry. And even with the ups and downs that we had this season, they pulled through, and I think that prepared them to face the adversity that we did in playoffs, and that's why we are now champions.
Also from Rancho tonight are our amazing mathletes who won the recent math competition. And so I would like to have each of you, when I call your name, come on up. Vihana Gandhi, Roger Wynn, Kushagra Jha, Alpha Su, Navya Sharma, Carter Lowe, Muhammad Sharif, Alan Lee, Claren D'Souza, and Hui Junding. Who's your coach? All right, we did the coach. Coach, would you say a few words?
It's been an honor to wait. Oh.
Yeah, it's been kind of amazing seeing the kids do well this year. We started the math program last year. And so there are a bunch of 8th graders here who know we started. The first year was tough, but I think we're doing incredible well this year. But we're just getting started.
Thank you. And can we have the rest of our families join us, and also any Rancho team members? Ms. Isbell? Ms. Gross? Okay, next we have our teachers made in MUSD and our classified team members. We have Annapurni and Natasha, along with our principal and assistant principal from Spangler. Ms. Jahal and Ms. Flores. Ms. Jahal, would you like to say a few words about our winners?
I am so happy to honor both of them. Miss Anna Perney, who is our resource specialist, goes above and beyond what her job requires. I know that because her husband's here and I know how many hours she works, but she's made a great difference to our RSP program. She's very collaborative and really advocates for the program and for the students and the teachers that she supports. So we are really lucky to have. And Miss Flores is going to share about Natasha.
So Miss T, as the students call her, Miss Natasha, is one of our paras in our SDC classes. And I'm always so proud of how patient she is with her students and how she treats each and every one of them with care, and really does assist them when they need it, especially with some of our high behavioral challenges. And she's just so involved with Milpitas as well. And just seeing her around too on the weekends. She also works at Safeway. So not only does she work at Spangler during the day, but sometimes she does go to work her second job. And so I know that she works really hard to provide for her family. And I'm just really glad that she's part of our Spangler team and works with our kids every day.
Thank you. Would each of you like to say a few words?
I'm honored to be receiving this award or recognition today. First, I want to thank all the colleagues who nominated me. I strive really hard to provide a safe learning environment where all my students feel valued, appreciated, heard, and have a sense of belonging in my classroom. As an adult, as I stand here, and as an RSP teacher, I feel that I belong, I am valued, I am appreciated, and I am heard. And this recognition mainly validates everything I do for my students, not only in the Spangler community, but also in MUSD. Thank you so much, MUSD family.
The same as Miss Anna Pony, I'm kind of nervous. I'm so honored and happy to be in this community. Miss Joe and Miss Flores and Miss Nade. Thanks so much to Miss Nade and Miss Ramu for supporting me and helping me, guiding me too. I'm so happy and honored to be here. Thank you.
And we are happy and honored that each of you is a member of our team. And I would love for your families also to come up and join us for a photo. Next, I've asked our teacher from Senate, Ms. Adrienne Barber, to share something with us that she did that was really amazing, I think, in teaching our kids about art and giving them the opportunity to showcase their work and have public speaking opportunities, all wrapped up in a celebration with family. So Ms. Barber, everybody can sit down. Ms. Barber, if you would share that with us, please.
So this is my student ranch. When I was young, I was quite poor sometimes, so food scarcity was something I knew. And this year for the Jack Emery Drive, I really thought we needed more. There's more people in need than ever. So I asked my students if they would be willing to make beautiful pieces, and then hold a gallery show and sell them, and all proceeds go to Jack Emery Drive. And they were so excited, so connected. So this is Rayanch, who made these beautiful pieces that were purchased. You want to hold them? I'm quite nervous too. So it was a beautiful event that the families came to, but the purpose was really to give back to the community and to connect my students with, you know, the purpose of giving. So I encourage everyone to give to Jack Emery. You want to say anything? Okay. Thank you.
Wait,
He's not gonna talk?
yeah. You want to tell us about your pieces? The ones that you drew?
Not today.
Okay.
Not today. Okay, let's do it quickly.
Okay, so okay, here's what I'll do. For this picture, I'll wear the crown. Barbara?
Got this. Where? And why is he doing this?
He showed up for his birthday crown at our event, but I didn't have one. So tonight, it's his 60th.
At least it wasn't the Cheryl's first. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Superintendent. We are on item an engagement project.
Oh, thank you for the reminder.
That's what we're about to get to. Veterans Day, item E on the agenda, Veterans Day, MUSD Veterans Day video tribute. What'd you think, Scott?
Came out pretty good.
Thank you for that. That was fantastic. Any other comments from board members for Scott on that video?
That was a really good video, and I was really surprised to find out how many people I knew in real life who served in the Army. So thank you.
Any other comments from student board members or the executive cabinet?
I like your suggestion to make sure we put this first on the superintendent's report so that we have a whole audience who can see it.
I'm sure we can find ways to make sure that folks in the district see it. I know that I've shared it as well. It's been very well received by the community, Scott. Thank you for that. And we are now on item 12, comments from the public. Scott, are there any comments from the public? Yep.
I do have one speaker card. Alice Nguyen of Hope for the Unhoused. You go right up to the podium there. There you go.
Can I just start talking? Okay. Good evening, board members. I'm here on behalf of Hope for the Unhoused. We're having a winter clothing drive next Saturday, so that'd be November 29th at the MHS parking lot from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We are looking for various clothing donations, including sweaters, hoodies, hats, stuff like that. And we're also looking for sleeping bags and tents, especially to help out the unhoused, especially during like the colder months. And we're just trying to get the word out as much as possible. So yeah, we're just letting you guys know if you guys have anything to donate, any donations, all donations are greatly appreciated. And we are also looking for more ways to get the word out to the entire district. We have been printing out posters and sending them to schools and businesses, but we just need to get the word out as much as possible so we have the greatest number of donations to help out the greatest number of people. That's all. So so if there's like anything you guys can do to help spread the word out, we have a poster, we have an electronic flyer. So if like an announcement can be posted on Parent Square or something like that, that would be greatly appreciated.
Where did you say to bring the donations?
The MHS parking lot. It's gonna be November 29th, so that'd be after Black Friday on a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Rain or shine?
Huh?
Rain or shine?
We don't know yet, actually.
You're supposed to say yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't even know what that means. Oh, I thought you.
So rain or shine means on November 29th, whether it's raining or not, people should come and
Oh,
bring.
yeah. Oh, yeah, come no matter what.
Right. And if you could email the digital flyer to superintendent so that she can share it
Yeah.
with the board. And then are there any other suggestions that we might be able to share with her in terms of getting the word out?
Do you happen to have a staff advisor from school?
Not from school. We only, it's like a separate nonprofit just based in Milpitas. It's actually Robert Jung's. So yeah, that's it.
Do you guys have a centralized like social media or like website link that we can reference back to?
We do have a website. But I don't know if it's like updated for the winter drive yet. We should probably update that. And I believe one of our members is like trying to get the social media updated, especially for this winter drive.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Quick question.
You're not-
Just, so one thing we can do is help in spreading the word to our school site. So if you
Yeah.
share the flyer with Superintendent Jordan, she'll pass it on to me. And I can pass it on to all the principals and they can include it in like weekly newsletters, either to family or staff.
Actually, the correct protocol is you can send it to me and I'll send it to Mary Lynn Suarez, who will check to make sure it's a 501c3. And if so, then she will share it with our principals for their folders.
Okay. Okay, I'll email it to you by tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you guys be accepting donations after November 29th?
Yeah, we will. We will be.
Okay.
Although don't know where to donate just yet. But you can contact us probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
Any other comments from any other board members? Awesome. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Scott, are there any other comments from the public?
We have no more public comment at this time.
Thank you. Item 12, item 13, Superintendent's Executive Cabinet Reports.
Thank you. I will start with Principal Jahal and Assistant Principal Flores from Spangler.
Good evening, board and cabinet and everyone that's here. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share a highlight from Spangler. Scott, if you could get the presentation up. We're going to be sharing our, I know we only have 3 minutes, so I had to really cut this down, but I wanted to share a 3-year journey on our response to intervention. How we have, that has helped us with our state SBAC testing has shown that it's what the track that we're on is working. Slide 1, we'll go to slide 2. So this has our CASP ELA data, which is the first table there, and the second table on the right is our math data. So if you look at cohort 1, the ones in the 69%, that is our 3rd graders, and last year they were our 6th graders. So you can see the growth that they made. Of course, there's kids moving in and out, but mostly it's the same cohort. Cohort 2, again, is 22, 23rd. Our 3rd graders was at 58, and there were 80 in last year as 5th graders. Cohort 3, 58 to 65, and cohort 4, which is our 3rd graders right now. At Spangler, we really like to, instead of looking at year data, we like to keep the cohort and look at long-term data. And our real goal is not the growth they might be making that year, is when they leave as 6th graders, how are they leaving as 6th grade? So when we're looking at our interventions, we're looking at that as well. In math, there is some growth, there's some, but we do need to do some work with 4th graders right now, and then as well as 3rd graders. And the work that we're doing is really focusing on mathematical practices. We have 3 teachers that are on a CPC to look at the curriculum. We're also we're doing learning walks, which means that grade level teachers are going to each other's classrooms to learn how they're teaching deep learning in math. And all our grade levels have participated, and we just need to schedule for TK. And that idea came from the teachers, and they believe that we learn the best when we collaborate and we learn strategies from each other. Our PLC work has also been really impactful in how we are working. But 3rd slide, which Scott, if you could pull it up, that's our RTI intervention. For the past 3 years, we have really honed on our interventions, just that saying overall these students are getting reading interventions. We looked at data and looked at the skills that they need, really targeted interventions. For example, if we know the students need vocabulary, what vocabulary do they need? Because there's lots out there. So we really target that, and the teachers give input on the interventions, and we cycle through that. We also make sure that our students that are on a student study team are in part of this. So we're really following the MTSS model when it comes to tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 instruction. And we're okay to, and I think the biggest thing we learned last 3 years is that it's okay to try something new. Because sometimes we're afraid to change things because we're afraid that it might not work. But we're looking at it, it's okay if we try this intervention, and if it doesn't work, we learn something from it and we change it. And Ms. Flores is going to share a few things.
So one of the other interventions that we are also working with is really helping our students learn to recognize their emotions and how to self-regulate. One of the things that we have been working on with our intermediate students is having the opportunity for them throughout the day to do an SEL check through the PBIS rewards app that we use. And it's been very helpful for us. If a student's feeling angry, they can say that they're feeling angry. They write a comment, it alerts us and our school psychologists and our PBIS team members so we can immediately go check in with them to make sure that what their emotions are, they have the ability to self-regulate, or if they need help with that so they can focus on their academics when they're in class. And we're hoping to bring that to our primary students, but I do a lot of check-ins with our primary students, walking the hallways and at recess and lunch, and so that's just a part of our SEL interventions that we're working on with them.
And that's just RTI in action for us throughout the day. That was our presentation for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Yes, so I want to, if you can go back to that second slide. There you go. I'm just kind of curious. So I love this. This is what I've been kind of trying to get everyone to understand, is because seeing that progression and that or that trend of that group of students as they progress helps us understand if they're truly improving, right? And at sixth grade to see 84% in ELA, that's awesome. I guess my question would be, how does this correlate to your iReady score? Because there should be some correlation.
Yes, they are. There are a lot of correlations, the improvement that students made. What we're seeing in iReady is, for example, if a student is say in fourth grade, they might be 2 years or a year behind. By the time they get to sixth grade, they're closer to being on grade level. That's kind of what we're looking at iReady. We didn't spend a lot of time correlating SBAC with iReady, but we're looking at if the student is, here in 2 years, will they be closer to being grade level
Right.
rather than looking at as yearly? But we did notice on iReady that in the past 3 years, we have cut students in tier 3, which are students in red. It was 12%, and now we're at 6%.
Awesome.
I
Great.
don't know exact number of students, but we noticed that our students, because we do have 14% of our students are students with IEPs.
I see.
And we've seen that improvement in those students as well.
Great. Thank you.
Additional questions?
Thank you, Spangler team, for really the mindset. I really enjoy you saying that there shouldn't be any fear of trying something new, because our students deserve the opportunity for our educators to expand and meet students at their needs. So thank you for identifying the potential barriers and working through that. Has that been instantaneous, or how much time did it take for the team there to adopt it?
I think it was very instantaneous. In the first 2 years, Juliana and I really spent a lot of building the relationship with our teachers and our families, and the relationship with each others. And then when we started looking at the model of how do you look at a problem, how do you look at data, and how do we identify that? And then when you work as a team, I feel like all the solutions is in the team. So the ILT team and the grade levels come up with the solution. What we do is we just execute and help there to support whatever things that come up that we need to get better at. And also having our TOSA from the district, from L&D, has really supported us in this improvement.
That's amazing, because Superintendent Jordan mentioned earlier from the manufacturing day, biggest trait that employers are looking for is teaming aspect or teamwork. And our students are modeling our educators in the school, and to really highlight that and work and collaborate, it really shows the students the teaming model. And so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to commend the tenacity that you have brought to this, right? The long-term vision of it doesn't happen overnight. We're building team. The solutions are within us. I'm curious to know, have the solutions changed year to year? Is there something that you are finding is taking root? Is there something that you would say, hey, perhaps we need to look at this more globally?
Yeah, they have changed. For example, for assessments, we know that we have already, and there's some assessments that are district when it comes to reading, and we're saying, okay, let's try this assessment. And if the assessment is not working or showing for us, we're okay to try something else. The solutions have also changed because we were using like Fountains of Pinnell, more reading programs, different reading programs, and we came up with, and which was a little shift in thinking for us, that we're doing targeted. We're following the structured literacy model, which we're still continuing to do, but we just don't give up as a team.
Thank you. It shows.
Any other question? So my question kind of leans towards the PBIS app. When we talk about building a culture of for staff, parents, and community to be involved, one of the things that I've learned from the educators in the Milpitas Unified School District, that building a culture with the students also involves their ability to self-regulate, so that they understand how they're feeling, so they can handle their emotions. Could you talk a little bit more about the adoption of that app and how you see it having an impact on your academics?
Sure. So we adopted the PBIS rewards app. I believe it was 3 years ago, and with the help of our Spangler PTA. And one of the things that I find really helpful is that it has our point system, or our dollars that the students get to earn. And so they're motivated to attend these various PBIS events that we have. For example, on Friday, we're having a karaoke event. So if they have enough points, they can register for it and then attend like a karaoke party. It also has the SEL check. So as I explained, they can kind of rank if they're calm, they're feeling stressed, or if they're angry. I think those are the 3 different categories, and it does give them tools. If they do hit that they are angry, it gives them tools to kind of help regulate. So sometimes it's taking a corner breath is how they like drawing a square, and you inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One of the strategies they give is like pushing against the wall to get some of their like anger out. And then I can't remember the third one. Oh, talk to an adult is another option. And there's a 4th one that is slipping my mind right now. But it does help when they do get to talk to an adult, because I feel like some of the times they're in their head about what they should do or what their problem is, and they just need someone to hear them out and maybe give advice. I know a couple weeks ago I was helping a student with a friend problem, and they're like, I can't focus because I'm so nervous about my friends and what is happening at recess. And so she just talked to me about it for 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, would you like my advice? Do you want me to check in with you in a week? And her solution was just check in with me in a week. So I did that. And so I think that does give them that opportunity to kind of express what it is that they need to someone that they trust. And then that way they're ready to go back into class and focus 100% on their lessons.
Thank you. Would that app kind of be like a signature practice type of thing for that school site, the PBIS app? Because I'm just hearing so many good things about it, and I'm not sure how many schools in the district are using something similar. But you know how we're always talking about, and that's one of the reasons why we appreciate the presentations, because we hear all these great things that are happening from different school sites, how they define their culture and their environment. So would that be considered like a signature practice or no? You can say it's okay. We're my board member. I don't know what you guys know.
So I think it would be considered a tool, right? That's helping with a much bigger signature practice or way that they're building culture. And Parwinder is ready to take over answering this question.
Yes. So I think when we came back from COVID, we did notice those that the students were more stressed out. They had a difficult time focusing. In our shift, Spangler was a peace builder school for a very, very long time. And with our support of our school psychologist, counselor, and also going through most of our staff being trained in circles training from the district office. We noticed, okay, now we can talk as a staff, we can talk about what our personal needs are and also what our needs of our students. From there, we made a shift that if we come to work stressed out as adults, we don't perform as well. We don't show in how are our students going to be, but how can we help students in the moment? Because teacher might be taking the time to teach. How do we have that communication? How can they, they can't talk to somebody next to them because the student might be doing on the work, but is there something quick that we can use? And like PBIS with support of PTA was for a behavioral, but now we're really trying to start more focus on the SEL part.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Assistant Superintendent of Human Relations, Damon James.
Hello. I was expecting a hello back.
Hello.
It's interesting. I was looking at my calendar and I think it's been 14 days since the last board meeting, and I've spent a lot of those days with our union leadership and also supporting our staff overall. So I thought I would write a quick Thanksgiving message. So happy early Thanksgiving to all staff. From the HR department, we would like to extend a big thank you for all your hard work, dedication, and strength. Collectively, you give your best every day, and your commitment to our work in Milpitas is very much noticed and valued. Every year has its own special intricacies, but you have handled it with skill, flexibility, and a great attitude. Whether you work directly with students in our schools or behind the scenes supporting staff and students, everything you do is important for us to succeed. Director Stonehouse and I also would like to give a special thank you to our MTA and CSCA union leadership, Clarissa Isbell in the audience, Brett Weber, Alicia Salgado, Sherry Ames, and Suzette Bromagem. Your work with us in representing your members has been vital to create a workplace that is positive for everyone, working to resolve issues, always keeping students at the center. And then thank you, Superintendent Jordan, Board of Trustees, and Executive Cabinet for showing up as your best selves, for supporting each other, and for making this a great place to work. I would encourage everyone in Milpitas the next few days to publicly thank someone for the work that we're doing in Milpitas. That concludes my thank you.
Thank you very much. And Executive Director, Preeti Johari.
Thank you. So as I have been sharing over the course of our meetings this year, our district is engaging in a math curriculum adoption this year with the goal of selecting one curriculum for grades TK to 10 that will support our students to build deep mathematical understanding, students to engage as active problem solvers, and students to reason like mathematicians. Tomorrow, our curriculum policy committee, which is composed of teachers from every single one of our sites, will be meeting with 5 different vendors to select 2 for an actual pilot that will take place between January and March. Throughout the pilot process, we will gather feedback from students, and in February, we'll be hosting a family night to share the different options with our families and also gather their input. And then in the spirit of the Assistant Superintendent James just shared, I'd really like to thank our MTA leadership. They've been incredible partners in making this curriculum policy committee come to life and ensuring that we have partnership and support from all of our schools. And then Secondary Director Marissa Koide has been my co-planner in leading and supporting all of this work. So couldn't do it without the support of these important leaders. Thank you.
And thank you. And Executive Director Mary G. Dorpinghouse.
Good evening. As we look ahead to returning from Thanksgiving break, We have some things coming up on the horizon that I want to highlight this evening. On December 2nd, we will have our MUSD inclusion, celebration of inclusion, and the 50th anniversary of IDEA. IDEA stands for Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which was passed in 1975. So we're coming up on the 50th anniversary. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with that law, it is the law that provides a free and appropriate public education to eligible students with disabilities. So on December 2nd, we'll celebrate our teachers who are inclusion and our paraeducators and our admins, anybody who is helping to champion for inclusion in MUSD. We'll have a celebration in that afternoon from 3:45 to 4:45 at Pomeroy Elementary School. Folks will be honored. They are nominated by their colleagues. So we look forward to celebrating that on December 2nd. And then just 2 days later, on December 4th, we will have our first Sensory Santa opportunity for photos. This is an event that is designed for neurodiverse students and the opportunity for them to actually have photos with Santa. Some of our students really struggle with those overstimulating, very loud, maybe even mall kinds of activities to have their photo taken with Santa. So this opportunity is for students of all ages at MUSD to come in the beautiful setting that of City of Milpitas City Hall. We're partnering with the city, and we will have a quieter, more sensory-friendly opportunity for our students to have pictures with Santa. Families and siblings are welcome to attend, and they can even jump in the photo. That will be from 4 to 5. Please look for the Parent Square message that came out. Wishing you all time with family, friends, and togetherness. Safe travels and happy holidays.
Chief Business Officer Dorothy Recognize.
So in our payroll department, our health benefits open enrollment period closed on November 11. These changes will take effect on January 1, 2026. And in the spirit of team building, on October 31st at the District Office Innovation Campus, the staff participated. Scott, where's my screen?
It's up there.
The staff at the district office participated in a ghost hunt where approximately 250 ghosts, those little ghosts that you see there, were hidden around the innovation campus, and most of them were found. Big thanks to Alicia Aldama in payroll, Danielle Rodriguez in L&D, and Kelly Ng in business services for organizing this fun event for everybody. It made everybody get out of their office, their cubicle, and start mingling with other staff at the district office just for a few minutes of fun. The big duck, ghost hunter duck on the corner was the prize for the winner. Mary Jude asked me how many the winners had. I don't know. But there's 250 of them, so.
Wow.
Moving on to the next slide. So another exciting food update from our Student Nutrition Services team. Chef Scott and our team conducted another focus group taste test of 5 potential new menus with 12 to 15 students ranging from 4th to 6th graders at Spangler on October 29 and at Weller on November 13. They sampled the following dishes. They had beef sloppy joe, veggie rice, which is a vegan, chicken chipotle salad with salsa, black beans, and cilantro lime dressing, cold Asian salad with edamame, red cabbage, sesame, and ginger soy dressing, which is also a vegan, falafel bowl with lemon rice, pita, and tzatziki sauce, which is a vegetarian. So we have some students. Next slide, please. Our students participated in this, and they, at the last slide, they have to complete this survey to see how they rate all this food that was that they're testing. So I hope that made you all hungry because they all sound delicious. So that is my report for tonight.
Thank you, Executive Cabinet, for your reports and your words to the team, recognizing the thanks and always and during these times, recognizing that the ability to give thanks and encourage others to give thanks, that's the one thing that we can all do, no matter what's going on. So really appreciate that theme that each of you came across with. Moving on to student board representatives, introductions and reports. Scott.
Okay, we're going to go online first. We have our student board rep, Rocha, from Calaveras Hills High School with us, participating remotely. Do you have your report to go?
Yes, I do. Good evening, Malpitas family. My name is Audrina Rocha. I'm the student board representative for Cal Hills.
Hold on one second, Audrina. We cannot hear you. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Sorry about that. It's an honor to share with you guys what is going on with this month's updates at Cal Hills. Starting off with sports, we just wrapped up an amazing soccer season that was led by Coach MUSD. The team played really well and ended up in third place, with their only loss being during the playoff game. Big congratulations to them for a strong season. And over in volleyball, the season has officially begun. We are so lucky to have Mr. Ames as our coach, and we have a total of 12 motivated students who are really amped up to see how this season goes. And last Monday, November 10th, we held a school-wide wellness day. It was a fantastic event where both students and staff came together to practice wellness techniques and build a positive community. Some of the activities included yoga, meditation, vision boards, crafting, and so much more. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and we're really excited to host another one in the spring. And we're also planning for a avid students trip to San Jose State University. On top of that, they'll be working on a community service project to help those in need during the holidays. And the students will be providing food or other essentials to help those who could really use the hand during this time of the year. And that concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Student Board Rep Rocha. Moving right along, we're going to go over to our Milpitas High School Student Board Rep Jung.
We have officially started Jack Emery season, and we are accepting cash donations only for first period classrooms. Cans and other physical foods can be donated to JO8, Miss Carubin's classroom, and online payments can be made at mhs.myschoolcentral.com. Our school goal is $12,000 and our stretch goal is $15,000. Along with accepting donations to reach this goal, we also have a bunch of events like Duct Tape Wars, Coin Wars, Talent Show, Pie Wars, and the Winter Glow Dance, which has tickets going on sale starting $3 this Friday. Select freshman classes were given a presentation on healthy relationships from our district social worker today. And Interact is running a toy and art supply drive so people can donate brand new packaged items to any of these classrooms at school, H6, F18, F10, L32, or at our MHS library. Finally, there was a presentation given to the leadership class about some tools that we can use to make our lives easier, such as FigJam, Gemini AI, and Notebook LM. It placed a lot of emphasis on AI, and I wish that this presentation had a more neutral stance, presenting both the positives and negatives instead of only discussing the benefits. But overall, it was informative and presented various uses for all these programs. Happy belated Veterans Day and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. And moving right along to our Middle College High School Student Board Rep Gupta.
Great, thank you. I am super proud to announce that Milpitas Middle College has been the undefeated champions for the Samsung Next Gen STEM Fair. We are very happy to be able to win the STEM Fair for 2 years in a row now. And it was a really amazing opportunity for our students to also network for potential job and internship opportunities.
A numerous amount of MMCHS students, including myself, were panelists for last Saturday's Change Your World conference hosted by the Milpitas Community Education Foundation. And our students presented on a variety of topics such as animal cruelty, access to transgender healthcare, and also homelessness, which Mr. Jung was our moderator for. We also are looking forward to our new student orientation, and we're looking forward to see our sophomore class double in size. And we also had a school-wide registration for our college courses with SJCC and Evergreen Valley College for spring 2026. And we've also started a focus group for our male students to support their mental health in higher education. And then tomorrow, our seniors are receiving help by our Milpitas Middle College counselor, Ms. Slam, and also our SJCC counselor, Mr. Munoz, to help finalize our UC and CSU applications to submit in next week. And finally, we are also looking forward to our Thanksgiving potluck and also sharing gratitude about our school and MUSD. And I would just like to echo the words of my fellow student board rep and the executive cabinet and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving break.
Thank you. Item 15 on our agenda, board group agreements. Board group agreements are provided for the board's ready reference as a reminder of our conduct as elected officials per board bylaw 9001, readopted at the March 12, 2024 board meeting. Board members and the superintendent agreed to, and I'll start off. And we'll go this way, right to left. Keep learning and achievement for all students as the primary focus.
Ask questions for our own understanding to make an informed vote.
Be open and honest with each other.
No surprises includes unapproved communications with law enforcement, news media, regional elected officials on behalf of the district and our board.
Be aware that our behavior in the community reflects on us as a governance team.
Communicate proactively with each other about topics, questions, and challenges in open session and in advance of public board meetings in compliance with the Brown Act.
Participate in professional development and commit the time and energy necessary to be an informed and effective governance leader.
Actively support the culture of we in action, earnestly an opportunity to serve the student and parents, caregivers of the Milpitas Unified School District.
Awesome, thank you. With that said, we'll go on to item 16, board communication requests, starting with trustee No.
Just to continue the spirit of thankfulness, I want to thank the community for believing in us as a district to educate your children. Thank you to all the educators and staff at each of the school sites for being committed to student growth. Thank you to our student board reps for really committing the time to enhance your skill set and learn about governance. Thank you to the executive cabinet for really executing on the goals and visions the board comes up with collectively. And thank you to our fellow board members for really serving our community and dedicating the time to be informed, effective leaders. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Dr. Naka.
As we approach Thanksgiving, I would like to echo my colleagues' wishes to everybody. I just wanted to share my appreciation for all the incredible work that has been happening across our schools, our collective effort, the students, families, teachers, classified, administrators, and everybody, each and every one of you in the room, virtually, in the community as a whole, as an MUSD family. It makes MUSD strong. And thank you and happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. That concludes my report, President Norwood.
Thank you. Board Clerk Chung.
Thank you, President Norwood. I just want to give a big shout out to my colleagues over at our Santa Clara School Boards Association for hosting this weekend's Success Committee. It was an awesome way for our school board members as well as city officials and superintendents, et cetera, educators to learn about the challenges for our Henley-Vento students. And also, I want to echo my colleagues' expression of thanks to the community, to all the students, to our teachers, everyone that makes Milpitas what it is, and Thanksgiving.
Vice President Yip Chuan.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been busy, so I just want to highlight, that I attended the Jack Emery Drive brunch as well as the Ruby Bridges walkout at the Innovation Campus. And I do want to echo with, student board reps and all my colleagues, my appreciation for our staff, whether you're management position or your CSA or, we do appreciate what you've done for our school district where we're here because of you guys. So, I just want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, spend time with your family, your friends, and, have a safe one, and we'll see you when you come back. Thank you.
But there's just so much love going on up here at this board. It's like, wow. Yeah, I want to echo the same sentiments as far as all of my colleagues, the executive cabinet, and the board and the student board reps in terms of giving thanks to the community. And I want to make sure that besides the words, there are actions. We know that this is a season where we still have unhoused in our community. We still have concerns for our families, and that we need to continue to work towards making sure that they are safe, that they recognize our schools as safe places to be. So I want to recognize the unhoused conference that was held this past weekend with the Santa Clara County School Board Association Success Committee. I want to also recognize the work of the Santa Clara County School Boards Association Legislative Action Committee as they continue to find ways to advocate for IDEA, for funding for school districts for our English language learners. I also want to recognize, again, the Ruby Bridges Day was a very, very special thing to see. It's happening all over the country, and the fact that it was brought by Randall World Languages School here to our community to walk to the Innovation Campus, that was very, very symbolic in so many different ways. So I really want to recognize that as well. And then this past week or so, I got a chance to see our social worker, Nicole Stewart, at a Links event, and she talked about her radical self-care book, which we should all be doing as well. So in the midst of all of us giving thanks and looking out, we need to make sure that we take care of ourselves, and we make sure that we recognize the reason for the season. I do want to circle back at the end of our board meeting to talk about what the board might want to do in terms of Jack Emery, in terms of how we've participated in the past. We know that's a very important part of the community. And then also circling back on supporting Hope for the Unhoused with whatever we can provide as far as what they're requesting, and be sure to get that information out to everyone as soon as possible. So thank you for that, and that concludes our reports. Item 17, reports, 17A, Learning and Development, AI, 2026 Secondary Summer School Presentation.
Thank you. I would like to invite up Secondary Director Marissa Coide, and I believe Casey McMurray is also presenting with her. And Assistant Principal Destiny Oakes also contributed largely to developing this plan, but is unfortunately sick today and not here. In preparation for what we're presenting today, Secondary Director Coide met with many secondary leaders, as well as our high school teachers, specifically those that participated in the summer school program, to gather feedback on the various iterations of our summer school programming, and then how we would continue to elevate that. And that's what they'll share with you tonight.
Thank you, Executive Director Johari. We can go to the next slide, Scott. Thank you. So as Preeti shared, Destiny, Dr. Oakes, and myself did do some reflecting. As you probably already know, L&D we do often. This was our fourth summer that I've been here that we've kind of iterated our summer programming for secondary, because we are always trying to really reach and meet the needs of our students. This slide just captures kind of what you've already heard back in August from us about how successful this past summer was. A highlight really was being able to share some SEL lessons with our high school secondary students. Some of them, it was was their first time hearing the term growth mindset. And so that was a big aha moment even for me. And we continue to want to share that work and those lessons in the coming summer. We could go to the next slide, Scott. On this slide, it just really shows the shifts that we've made from 2022 to this past summer. The first summer we used Edgenuity. I want to say actually possibly the first.
Dr. Day, could you go back? Could you go back one slide,
Sure.
please? Impactful outcomes. Can you kind of give us the 100% ADA strong student commitment?
Sure. So overall, the attendance for the summer, we had full attendance so that students were able to meet their credit recovery. And we had 51 sections of courses that were offered because we had the morning session and also the afternoon session. So we had high engagement and high participation this past summer.
Thank you.
Okay, so we did shift from Edgenuity. It was an online platform that I believe began during distance learning. Mr. McMurray might know more than I do, but we made that shift because we were finding that students were not retaining a lot of the material after summer school with Edgenuity, and it just was not that engaging. And actually, they were finding lots of loopholes and able to kind of Google answers online. So we made a shift to subject.com, which we are hearing from our principals. I just met with Principal Scott today. The students are really enjoying the videos. They put a lot of time and production and energy into their videos and their instructors. So they're highly engaged, and we were hoping for more student retention. We started to see that, but I'm going to let Mr. McMurray speak to this on why we then shifted from the online programming to teacher directed this past year.
Hello, good evening. So what we noticed was that there was very little interaction between teacher and students at summer school. And we know that teachers have the biggest impact in terms of teaching and learning and what happens in that process. So the thought was to move away from a program that was solely computer-based, where the students just sat in front of a screen for the 2 hours and answered questions or daydreamed or whatever they were doing, looking at the screen, and bring back the human touch and implement what happens during the regular school year that is powerful and incorporate that into the summer school experience. So we asked our department leads at the high school to identify the essential standards that should be covered at summer school, the things that are most important because it's a condensed time and they're getting a semester's worth of credit and not information, but as close to the semester's worth of information as possible. So we wanted to identify what are the top standards that need to be covered. And so they went back to their departments, identified those standards, brought them back to our school leadership team. We discussed those and shared those with all of the summer school teachers who signed up. And that was the experience this last year. And it was found to be a much more positive experience, interactive, teachers leading the instruction, the interaction, and just having more of a direct hand and involvement in what was happening at the site, which probably could speak to the 100% ADA. So that's just a little bit of that shift that we made from computer-based to human-based.
Thank you. And I wanted Mr. McMurray here. I know it's hard being a site principal, spending the night with us on a Tuesday, but he really led that charge along with Mr. Woolman to survey the teachers and really get their buy-in to work on those essential standards. So I thought it was important for him to be here to speak to that. I wish Dr. Oakes was here. Unfortunately, she is ill, but these were some of the current challenges she found as we shifted then to direct teacher instruction. The 2-hour blocks, that usually needs to come with some PD if teachers are not used to that kind of long length of instructional time. So there was fatigue, I would say, both on student end and also teacher end. There was a lot of just sit and get. We really want our teachers to feel like they don't have to be the sage on the stage, right? They don't have to be the one just with all the knowledge. It really can be that learner directed model where they are doing some instruction, but then the students are actually have some agency in their learning and learning from one another. And some students were seeing it, unfortunately, as a punishment instead of what are the benefits of me coming. We can go to the next slide, Scott. Thank you. So Dr. Oakes' vision, I really liked her glow up vision, was to how can we incorporate kind of what we've done in the past with what we did this past summer, but really make it hands-on. And so one of the ways she was envisioning to do that was to shift the messaging from just credit recovery to actually, how are we preparing you to be future ready? So really reframing it with her her quotes here, glow up your summer. And the way to do that is to make sure our community understands the goals, make sure that there's a personal touch between the invitations, which we could be doing more of. I know that Mr. McMurray, when he's been summer school principal, and Ms. Klein, they have done incentives and recognitions, but we can always do more, including like a showcase night. And then how could we involve our community partners, which we, the school board, Superintendent Jordan, are always trying to make sure we are establishing those and strengthen them as we work through summertime. We can go to the next slide, Scott. Thank you. So our recommendations really are to revamp our scheduling for the summer. So maybe 2 hours is too long. Maybe we shift to an hour and a half. But also thinking about how can we lean on subject.com, because the other thing we heard when we surveyed the teachers is we did not give them enough planning time if they were to come up with the instruction. So we did a hard shift from subject.com as the curriculum to now it's all teacher directed. And I think the teachers were willing to have that challenge, but you know, with that comes more time, more energy, and we didn't give them a lot of resources or enough planning time is the messaging we got back. So how could we combine subject.com, which we know can be engaging, but also give students that hands-on experience that we want in the real world application. And so what you've probably also learned from L&D over the past 4 years is we like to use our intersessions, our summer, to really try and pilot new things. So we are looking at combining PBL or project-based learning this summer with subject.com. So it gives teachers, they can do some teacher-directed application, but they can also lean on subject.com to fill in that hour and a half, or if we keep it a full 2 hours. And then students can take more ownership and agency over their learning with the project-based learning and the 4 C's with critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication. I really liked the quote we pulled from one of the surveys we did for our summer school teachers. And it says, combining PBL and subject.com could be fun because it would give the students a tangible project to support them during their learning or align with what they are learning on subject.com. So again, it's just that real world application that we're always trying to provide. And because summer school is such a short amount of time, this last summer, we did have 25 instructional days, but we'll be going back to our 20 instructional days this next summer. So because of that, even more having this structure of PBL alongside subject.com, we think will support both the teachers and the students in their learning. And then on the right-hand side, it's just some examples that we came up with around what PBLs could look like in the different areas. We can go to the next slide. And so our next steps really are, now that we've kind of gathered feedback, is to really think about our schedule, making sure that we are getting all of the voices of our secondary principals, looking at our PBLs that we have access to on platforms like PBL Works, which Calaveras Hills is leaning on. We would love to have a showcase, much like the elementary or, and middle school summer school sites have. They have them usually during the day. Dr. Oak's idea is to have it during the night and then continue to build up our partnerships. And that concludes our presentation.
Thank you. Starting with our student board reps, any questions? Questions, comments?
I do have a comment. I will say that I definitely do support the shift of project-based learning as someone who did a lot of project-based learning back in elementary school. I think that with these engaging projects, I think this is something that students actually remember and that what they will take away from their learning experience when it comes to the summer learning experience. And I love the idea of how you're reframing summer school as more of an opportunity and not more of a punishment. And I really look forward to see how you're going to make this, like you said, future ready. And I look forward to see what happens out of it. And the showcase seems like also an amazing idea as well.
Thank you.
Any other board comments?
Just had a couple of questions actually. When in the last slide, the last one, you said PD for teachers. What kind of professional development do you think you would want to offer for teachers to be more ready than, before?
Yeah, so for block scheduling, so a longer period, secondary teachers are usually used to a 45-minute to about 55-minute period of instruction. And so because it's a 2-hour block or possibly even an hour and a half, just giving them strategies that could fill the time but are still engaging. So it's not just them giving a lecture for a full hour and a half or an hour, and then the students are tapped out with all the information they've taken. It's hard for them to then engage and work. So giving them different strategies that can fill the space, but they know that will be engaging for the students.
Yeah, thank you. And the second question I had was like, you said you would have 20 days instead of 25. Why is that so?
So this past year, because it was teacher directed, we wanted to make sure there was enough instructional time, minutes, so that students and teachers could convey everything they needed to within the time frame. So we expanded to 25 days, but as we know, with our ELOP funds, we have had some budget constraints, and so we are looking at the need to go back down to 20 school days for the summer.
Thank you for that. Looking forward to how things would improve.
And I'm sorry, for the PDs, we also would be providing, if we shift to PBLs this year, instruction around project-based learning and its implementation.
Definitely.
Some of our high school teachers and our middle school teachers have already had that training, but for those who don't, we would provide that.
I think the PBL, approach would be very much hands-on. I've had my daughter being there, so both my girls, in fact. So thank you for that. Thanks for all your effort. And it's a beautiful presentation. Thank you to both of you.
Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. I mean, it sounds very exciting. I'm just, I guess, curious to know more. So you mentioned that it's been like over 500 students a year. Like, is that normal year to year?
I would say we've been about 450. I think this last year was the highest enrollment we've seen, but it's been about 450 to 500 since we've come back from distance learning.
Okay, and what is the average class size? And I guess you mentioned that's about 2 hours a day. You're looking at to going to 1.5.
Yeah. It depends on the course itself, because it depends on what course the student needs to recover. But we would say about on average 20 to 30 students per class.
Okay, and then I don't want to create more work for Scott or anybody else, but in the future, can we, I guess, hear more from the students? I just want to, hear from their excitement and how they found the course to be.
That might be a good idea to include as part of the summer school report when
Yeah.
the admin comes up and shares the results, have some students join them and have that voice included.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much.
So I know this is under reports, but what I didn't hear from the presentation is what is the ask of us as a board?
The ask would just be to support, and I know you guys are always visible during summer school, so when you're on campus, I think it is engaging with the students around their PBL projects. How do they feel summer is going to get them ready for their futures if we're trying to make that shift? And then engaging with the teachers as well, so that you get a gauge of what their experience is. We've had some teachers who have taught consistently every summer school, so hearing their experience and the different types of options we've provided, I think would be helpful.
And then a couple.
Can I answer that question too?
Sure.
So I think another support is, I'm too close to it. Another support is, as we are just sharing with you what we're doing, that you are also then sharing that back out with the community and the why around that. I think sometimes, I think that's very intentional for us to make this shift to saying we want to partner subject.com and PBL. You can't do one or the other. If you just do a PBL unit, we won't actually cover the full scope of standards so that students are actually ready for the next class, right? Subject.com helps us to do that, to make sure you're getting an opportunity to learn all the standards. PBL then does, like that teacher quote was brilliant, spot on. It's the application piece that then creates that engagement. So when others are asking you about the why both, why not one, or the kids like one piece more than the other, or it's easier, you now can help support the messaging around that.
And my other question was, you mentioned a couple times you didn't want summer school to look like a punishment. But I didn't hear as far as the thoughts in regards to how to address that.
Yeah, so I'm sorry that I wasn't direct enough, but with the incentives and the showcase, being able to lift up and acknowledge students, some of the students who are in credit recovery haven't even, received a single praise as they've gone through our school system. So those incentives, those acknowledgements, the showcases, I think even just the experience of the real world application project-based learning will help them to shift.
Thank you.
Scott, would you please put their last slide up?
I guess my comment too is, can you invite us? I would love to like visit the classroom and to see how engaging the students are. Thank you.
We will.
Thanks. I want to highlight what you have in the box. Summer school isn't a second chance, it's a launch pad. That is inspirational. And it is a launch pad based on what you said, not only for the students, but also those teachers who might be new to PBL, and then those who aren't, giving them the opportunity to delve deeper and to see how using subject.com might be helpful also in other venues throughout the year. So I appreciate the thought that went into reframing the whole idea of summer learning so that it's not a deficit kind of thing, but really additive. And it's an opportunity for our learners to have experiences beyond what they normally do in the classroom. And also I think I saw in there that there was a possibility of tying into some work-based learning types of experiences. Thank you for putting the thought into redesigning secondary education during summer.
Thank you.
Any other, Damon? Or Assistant Superintendent James?
Damon is fine.
Okay.
All I was going to say is what what Superintendent Jordan just shared about the mindset shift. I would encourage you to work with the site administrators at the sites, to work with the instructional or site leadership teams on how you can roll that out. Because very often when students are not performing in a class, and receiving a grade of F, summer school isn't shared as an experience of a launch pad or a second chance. It is shared as a consequence. So that shift in mindset would need to be universal.
Thank you. We will
And-
take that into consideration.
I want to leverage what Mr. James was saying in regard to students, but I think it's, as you pointed out, it's important to help our parents understand that it is not punishment. It's an opportunity, as you mentioned, in Launchpad. And I think that reframing has to go across not only students, but our parents as well.
Agreed. We're definitely in the learning business, right? And even for, like Superintendent Jordan said, for the educators, there's always opportunity for growth and learning. And so reframing it that way is important. Thank you.
As kind of the final piece in this little triangle here, you have teachers, parents, but also addressing the mindset shift in other students who are not part of this, right? The way I had these summer classes explained to me when I asked about them was that it was sort of a punishment, right? And I think like the way teachers, or not teachers, but like adults explain it to other students, or just like the way it's shared around also needs to be addressed. So like in the school culture, when other students like talk about this, it's not like a negative thing.
Thank you for that perspective.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in a little bit different direction in terms of my questions, because I'm a super fan of summer school. I know how important it is, summer slide and all those things. How long, so you're talking about primarily about secondary summer school at the high school credit recovery, correct? what is how long, this is maybe to the executive cabinet as well. How do you put together a secondary summer school educator dream team? Like, what would that formula look like? What time, when would you recruit? How much time they would need to prepare and then launch? Can someone tell me about that process? Because it always seems like summer school sneaks up and you're trying to figure out who's doing what when. And then the other question is, how many students at Milpitas High School were potentially eligible, or excuse me, throughout our district, were eligible for summer school because they may not be on track to graduate, or they experienced, 2 or more failing grades during that school year, and summer school could be helpful to them as far as future pathway readiness. I didn't get a chance to see any of that, so if you could share those couple of things with me, that'd be great.
Summer school is always top of mind for us. I would say we start heavily planning in January for summer, but we have already started to think about our timelines even now. Executive Director Jahari, our Director of Elementary, Dr. Vo Feldbinger, and myself are going to be part of a community of practice around summer school also, so we can continue our own learning. So it's always top of mind for us. What is challenging is getting educators to want to stick around for summer because they also need a break. Sometimes they need to recharge or they have, other commitments during the summer. So it also depends on when the timing is of summer school. But we often have, like I said, some teachers who are really consistent in wanting to be there every summer. When Superintendent Jordan was speaking, it also made me think about, we often have teachers who, maybe are middle school teachers, but want to teach high school during the summer to see the trajectory of their students. So there's a lot of components, I would say, it takes to sort of getting teachers on board for summer school. There's just a lot of different elements that takes. I don't have the numbers for you, and I don't know if Mr. McMurray does either, off the top of our head about how many students may be eligible as opposed to how many actually enrolled. So I can get that to you.
Yeah, I'd be super interested in that. And I'd also be interested to understand, for our summer school credit recovery, is 100% of the staff MUSD, or is there, has there ever been room for thinking about, okay, we have a summer opportunity, we want these slots filled, and we are going to recruit educators for that, and then, but our MUSD educators get the first right of opportunity?
So the overwhelming majority of teachers, summer school teachers at MHS over the last several years have been from within the district. There are some individuals, very few, that come from outside the district. Actually, one was Roberto Clemente. He was a summer school teacher who wasn't from within the district, but he was very interested in becoming a part of the district, which happened this year. But he was always part of the summer school crew. So I wanted to mention one group that is key in the summer school process, and that's the counselors, because they are the ones that are most knowledgeable of students who need to go to summer school and are tracking their progress towards graduation and how many credits they need or they've lost and all that. And so as they meet with their students to review their 4-year plans or their plans for next year or whatever, it might be towards graduation, they're going to be having those conversations. So they'll play an integral part in this process of rebranding and helping students look at summer school through a different lens.
Thank you. Any final comments? Scott, any comments from the public?
We have no public comment at this time.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the report. 17AII, Children and Youth Behavioral Initiative Fee Schedule Program.
Yes, good evening. This is actually an informational item for the board and our community. The documents attached tonight are really formalizing our participation in the CYBHI, which stands for Children and Youth Behavioral Initiative. the multi-fee payer schedule, or MPFS. We have lots of acronyms here. This is part of a statewide initiative where the state's trying to expand and standardize the schooling services that are provided by schools for students up to the age of 26. And so this is looking at opportunities for districts to bill insurances for services that are provided that are for medical needs, mental health needs, substance use support, things of that nature. The agreement that is provided tonight actually outlines and attests to our commitment. We've been working with the Santa Clara County Office of Education for over a year now, really trying to lay the foundation for building the infrastructure, the knowledge, et cetera, that's needed. This is a huge undertaking. It's reframing and rethinking about how we do schools and how we may be able to seek reimbursement for specific kinds of supports and services by billing and seeking reimbursement from insurance companies. It has required us to do a lot of learning. When you think about going to your doctor's office, they have a electronic health record or an EHR there that they enter the data in. There are codes, DSM codes. All of that has to be learned and all of that has to be trained on, and we have to have solid knowledge on how to do this, and we have to certify that our providers are credentialed appropriately, certified appropriately, and have high expertise to be delivering the services. And so this tonight is really showing the work that we are doing, being upfront about that, and laying the foundation for us to continue this work. Our hope is to keep on this pathway and learning, growing, and putting into place the staffing, et cetera, that we need to be able to do this billing and ensure that we are in compliance with HIPAA, which is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, FERPA, which is Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Those are the things that we talk about from a confidentiality standpoint, and ensure that we can adhere to all the guidelines that are stated in this agreement. So all that to say, this is an informational item, just to be transparent about the work that we're doing and laying some foundation to what is ahead of us in the future.
Are there any questions? Scott, one moment. Scott, any comments from the public?
Oh, we have no public comment at this time.
Any comments, questions from the board? I would start by saying that if I heard you correctly, you're talking about our ability to bill for certain services that are happening on our campuses that we are performing. So could you tell me a little bit about the relationship with the associations as a part of this process at this phase?
At this phase, we're still learning about the programs and the services of what we're doing. We are learning what the requirements are going to be. In terms of associations, we've done some work already where we've started training on what we call like logging our services. So that is a familiar task. That's part of our other funding that we get for reimbursement through Medi-Cal, through SMAA.
And that's on the CSCA side.
That's on the teacher's side. So specifically, we bill currently for speech pathology services, OT services, and those are and we're working towards psychologist services being billed. So we've also done some pilots to look at what we would be able to be reimbursed for, but we are not yet at a place where we know all of what we need to know, or even the basics of what we need to know yet to be able to move forward on that. So we haven't moved in the direction of laying out what's going to happen, because we still are trying to figure out who can bill. And that's new information. So there could be classified staff that can bill. And it has changed. Originally, we thought that we would not be able to bill for people who did not have certifications. But now now there are possibilities that we could bill for wellness coaches. That would be a classified position. We are aware that we could bill for psychologists because of their credentialing. We are aware that we could bill for mental health services, social work services, things of that nature. So we're still trying to align the credentials that we have for our staff to align with what we can bill. So, and that actually is a topic that will be coming up. We are meeting with the MTA this week. This week, I believe it is. It's on the agenda for this week. So we will talk more about that with them at that time.
Yeah.
We haven't broached it with CSEA yet because we're still trying to figure out how this plays out for most players.
Yeah, I guess when I heard you talk about this has an impact on education as a whole. Our classified or certificated or management, it sounds like somehow this is going to touch all of those different areas at some point. And right now we're at the early stages of learning. So again, trusting the vision that you guys have around the work. I would just ask, being mindful of the fact that if there are periodic check-ins in terms of updates of where we are, so they can ask questions along the way.
Absolutely.
Versus when you're ready at the end, there's so much learning that's already happened that's already not been shared, just because you guys are, again, everyone is super busy. Because if we're going to keep and that's another thing about building our culture of we, right? Folks are knowing what's coming and they're a part of the decision making or aware of it as it happens.
Absolutely. And I think the thing that we have been thinking about and trying to gather input on is what can be the implications for this. And that's where connecting with our associations will be important, because if we are doing billing, which will be a part of the role if we are to bill for certain services, they are going to need time in their day to bill. So it is not just to say, like, you can just add this on. You have to consider billing time. So when I worked in a clinical setting, I had time to be able to do my billables and to figure out what DSM code it was going to go to, et cetera. So that is the conversation that has to happen. We are still collaborating with the county on what is called the capacity grant as we learn to see what our capacity is to take this on and what the components are. So we have some introductory sessions about once a month with the county to understand what are the pieces we need to do in order to prepare moving forward. So I 100% agree with you in collaboration with others. And right now we're still in the early stage. Well, I shouldn't say early stages. We've been working on this, but we continue to learn and grow as it learns, as it grows and evolves.
And one last question.
Sure.
HR1, right? Meaning the federal implications around billing, Medicaid, those types of things. Has there been any conversation about the potential impact on that in us moving in this direction? Or is it, regardless of the implications of HR1, that this is moving full speed ahead?
I'm not sure I'm processing your question.
Right.
President Norwood.
So I guess the question is, there's concerns about there's been significant, as you know, the county just passed Measure A to recoup to gather as much funding as possible for future medical services in the region, right? But there are going to be other implications because part of our funding, or a component of our funding, comes from the county. And you had mentioned that right now there's a capacity grant going on for us to understand how we would be able to bill for this.
Yes. So the capacity grant, we've been working with the County Office of Ed for over a year now on the capacity grant. So they are leading the work from the state, from the county, and they are helping us to know the components of what we need. So understanding the forms we have to have, the releases we have to have, the credentials we have to have, the people we have to have. So this has been in place before other measures and such have come out. And honestly, my understanding is that this is the work that we're doing is because there aren't other fundings and grant resources. And so this is the work that the state is providing us as a means for recouping some of our services that we already provide and to provide more opportunities for our families to access the programs through the schools. The other challenge that we're facing, oops, I moved away from the microphone. The other challenge that we're facing is the idea of schools being like a one-stop shop, so to speak, where they can get the supports and services they need at school because some of our families don't have the means to go and get those services after school, on the evenings, on the weekends, or leave school in the middle of the day to go get this service or that service. And so, so yes, I mean, I think that this is work that's been going on and not just because of recent changes and events.
And just confirming, when you say county, you're referring to the County Office of Education, not the County of Santa Clara Social Services.
That is correct. It's the County of Santa Clara County Office of Education.
Okay.
I think I can kind of get it from the context of the conversation, but can you guys like define what billing is?
Great question. No, thank you. That's why you're here. Thank you for the question.
So yes, so when a service is provided at a hospital, let's say, okay, service is provided at a hospital and you see the nurse or the doctor go in and they're clicking buttons, right? They are actually going in and saying, this was the service that was provided. It aligns to this code for this service for this amount of time by this by this person with credentials X, Y, and Z. Depending on the level or credentialing of that particular person, the billable rate is different billing levels. So if you are a doctor with a very specialized service, your billable rate might be different, would be different than, let's say, a nurse. So they click and they put that submission in, and then what that agency, that clinic, that hospital, that mental health provider clicks in, and then it's submitted to the insurance company, and the insurance company goes through it with a fine-tooth comb, and they're like, yes, they have the right service. Yes, they have the right billing credential. Yes, they filled out the forms correctly. Yes, yes, yes. There's all these things. If those are all fulfilled, then there is a reimbursement, established by a set amount of money, and then that money is sent back to the provider. In this case, it would be the district. So the idea is that we can recoup some of the funding for the services that we are getting by billing an insurance company, just like we were a Kaiser or a clinic setting, because we have providers that can do those services. Does that help?
Yes, that clarifies a lot of things. Thank you.
So we'll go, Dorothy has something to add, and we're going to go Trustee Jung first. Go ahead, Trustee Jung.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. So the services that we are providing are right now going to insurance companies, but or
Not now. We're not billing it,
not
no.
yet. But the goal is to bill the insurance company.
Correct.
But let me ask the question, would we ever bill Medicare?
Yeah.
So we don't have anybody qualified for Medicare. We do submit medical.
Okay, Medi-Cal.
Billing.
Okay.
And I guess what I wanted to add, what Mary Jude is saying is, when President Norwood asked about the implications of what we have right now, it's nothing different than when we submit our medical billing. It's for specific positions that she mentioned earlier, and we don't get 100% reimbursement for that. And the other services, so the remaining of that services is kind of having dual insurance. You can't double dip. So you charge one insurance, and the rest that don't cover, you can go to the other insurance and claim for it. And but this program actually expands way beyond the medical billing that we're allowed to submit for reimbursement. So
Yeah.
it's not going to impact the current medical billing that we are doing, but this is an additional reimbursement, medical reimbursement coming from the private insurances rather than coming from medical.
And it expands who can do it, who can bill for it.
Right.
Substantially. And so that's what we're investigating to see who do we have that meets those criteria and the credentials that are required for that billing.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Are there any additional questions? Well, awesome. Thank you, Mary Jude. What could we expect next from the next? Will we see a future action item here or a resolution to adopt a fee schedule? What are we thinking about?
So we'll probably do a presentation on it. It's a complex thing, and I think that it will be wise to do a presentation to the board and the community to understand our next steps. Once we are further along in the process and have we know when we're actually able to launch, I think prior to that would be prudent for us to come forth with not just a resolution or contract, but really more of an in-depth conversation.
Which will include the association folks, HR, and all that stuff, right?
It will include everybody at this point. The purpose of tonight was just to ensure that we gave a heads up to people that we are launching into this and that we have much work to still do. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. 17B, Superintendent's Office update on the Metro Ed program and services.
Thank you, President Norwood. I would like to introduce Superintendent of Metro Ed, Erin O'Neill. And tonight she would like to share an update on Metro Ed and programs, along with data about our students who are using or taking advantage of the programming there.
Thank you. And even better yet, I have students to share their own story with me tonight. So hello, everyone. Thank you, Superintendent Jordan and President Norwood and the board. I'm going to be brief because their story is much more interesting. Scott? So I want to share with you some wonderful updates that have been happening at SVCTE. We are part of Metro Ed District that has 23 different career and tech high quality programs that meet the 12, meet or almost meet, or working hard on them, the 12 elements of high quality CTE. That means expert instructors, great facilities, equipment, career connected learning, certifications, college credit, all that set students apart by the time that they graduate. This year, we're really excited to share that 100% of our courses have AG equivalency, culinary, even chemistry. We're going to use that to our advantage as we access, hopefully, the career and tech facilities plan and the food science and nutrition pathway, because we have that embedded. We have increased retention. This is our 8th year of seeing increased retention from the first day until count day. We are at 91% this year. In the past 7 years, it's been as low as about 55% retention. So we've seen exceeding growth, making sure that students are scheduled in the courses that align best to their interests, that we do all we can to minimize barriers, and that we provide wonderful learning opportunities that make them want to return. We have increased related college credit credentials, but more importantly, we want by 2030 that all of our classes have at least a semester of college credit in them. So we have some work to do, but we're starting to build those relationships and have them be embedded in the classes. And then lastly, we're always looking at our programming to see what students are interested in, what we should be doing, and maybe what we aren't doing. We've had historically a class called mobile apps that really students weren't as interested in as we would like. So how would we take those resources and iterate it into something even better? We will be the first public school that I'm aware of in Santa Clara County to offer AI engineering next year. And in regard to a comment that was made earlier, yes, it will have a unit in ethics and understanding how to use it for good. This is just a quick picture of the retention rate. The purple line is Metro Ed and all of the districts that come to us as a whole. You can see it increasing. And then the orange line is Milpitas, which shows that you, your district, your counselors, the people that work for your students really start from fresh, aligning the students' goals with the programming at Metro Ed. Retention remains high for students from Milpitas. This is a great picture. Without really looking at the numbers, you can see all of our courses listed there. And this is the wonderful advantage of the partnership with our JPA districts. This is an example of students across your schools having access to 23 different programs that would really be difficult for you to offer in your own district. So just the idea of JPA districts coming together and being able to offer an economies of scale, high quality programming, when only a few students might be interested in it, this is a way to make it happen. Just a few pieces of data. Out of the 28 students that attended last year from Milpitas, they are all completers. They all earned industry certificates. 11 of them earned college credit. As I said a second ago, we have some work to do on increasing those opportunities. And you should be very proud. One of your students from the Milpitas School District attended National Skills USA. In other words, they were first in the state and went on to Georgia to compete. Several of the students, half of them competed in at least regionals that took place at our campus, and 5 of them went to state. I won't go over all of these, but I just wanted to share with you our aspirations as we hit 2030. We're putting together a facilities plan and we'll be applying for the CTE facilities grants this year. But really having a way to plan for that, modernizing some of our programs. We have a couple that have the same equipment and the facilities that are about as old as I am. So we want to work to modernize that. We want to increase partnerships. A couple of them just recently, Sobrato Philanthropies came to visit and you're the first group to understand that we received a grant, a $200,000 grant for operations to help students gain certificates, industry certification, college credit, and then also career connected learning. More to come on that. We also hosted Assemblywoman Pellerin today, who is very interested in using her political capital to bring more community members to Metro Ed and understand what we do. We have a lofty goal that by 2030, we will have $500,000 available for student scholarships. This past year was about 150,000, most that came from our Metro Ed Foundation, and we're looking to grow that so students do have a pathway to the next piece of their journey. Okay, the highlight. I'd like to introduce to you Fatima. She is a medical science student and health careers from Milpitas High School. And following her, you're going to hear from Ryan, who is in medical assisting. So if they'll come up and tell you a little bit about their experience at SVCTE, I also encourage them, feel free to talk about your challenges. And then we'll open the floor to any questions that you might have for any of us. Sound okay?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Fatima Kakab. I'm a student at Milpitas High School, where I'm a senior, and I'm also a student at SVCTE's Medical Science/Health Careers course. I would like to go on to become a doctor, so this course has been really beneficial for me so far, given that we're almost done with the first semester. So far, I've gotten certifications in OSHA and in CPR, and moving forward in the remainder of the year, I can expect certifications in regards to psychiatry and first aid. So it's a lot of resources that will help me as I go on to volunteer and work in the medical field and allied health. And I really enjoy the hands-on work experience we get in class. I feel like a lot of times students can feel that they're doing work just to do work, but I get the benefit of and working for my present and my future. So I know that the work that I do in school is the same work that I will do in the career in the future. So it feels a very rewarding experience, and I'm very grateful that I'm a part of it. So thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Mario Lopez. I am also a senior at MHS, and I'm taking the medical assisting class. I first want to give thank you to Mrs. O'Neill for allowing me and Fatima to share the great opportunity that SVCTE is. I first want to point out that SVCTE has become a major role in my career as I personally want to pursue a medical career in the future. I first want to point out that SVCTE and my medical assisting class has provided me skills such as how to take vitals, how to make charts, and other medical terminology. I am certified in first aid, basic life support, teens mental health, and also OSHA. I also want to point out that I have been chosen to participate in a Skills USA to emphasize the importance of mental health and the brain. I will say that my teacher, Mrs. Gonzalez, has emphasized the importance of professionalism as she always employs a uniform and always trying to improve our resume portfolio and how to get a job in the future. I will say that this school has been very special and always a class that I am looking forward to attend as the environment and the atmosphere is always very welcoming and always accepting to questions and any concerns. And I'm always will be grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Scott, any public comments?
We have no public comment at this time.
I'd like to open up the floor to the board, starting with the student board reps.
I just want to say I'm really proud of you two. Hearing about what you guys have been up to in this program has been really cool. And like, I know a couple of my other friends have been trying to get into it. So it is like a wanted program that people, you know, are vying for. So it's really cool to see you guys really making the most of it.
I'm not sure if this is a question for you specifically or the board, but are there any other schools besides Milpitas High participating in this program?
Yes, there are, I'll let Superintendent O'Neill, there's the thing called the JPA where there's 6 school districts that are participating. Share the rest.
Yes, and students come from about 45 different high schools across Santa Clara County. Good question.
Including Cal Hills, yes. Any other questions from the board?
Superintendent O'Neill, just curious, so do you guys keep track or maybe keep in touch with the students after they leave Metro Ed and finding out, where they're at with their career?
You bet. I certainly want to work on a better system to do that. Right now, we do a senior survey of students before they leave to find out where they're going, but we need to get better at following up where they're at 6 months later, a year later, and so on. What I'm finding is the students stay in very close contact with their teachers, and many of them have that information. But again, we don't have as comprehensive of data that we would like.
Thank you.
Just a question for the students. Thank you for sharing your experience. If you had to think about the one thing that differs from a standard classroom versus the CTE programs that you're a part of, what would you say is the main difference or primary difference?
I think my classes in Milpitas High School are beneficial in a more knowledge-based sense. And while in SVCTE we still get that same knowledge-based thing, the 3-hour class period also gives us a larger time frame to practice what we know. So for example, we would, at least in my course, we would learn, for example, recently we did blood. We learned about blood types, compatibility, and that sort of genre of learning. And then we also used blood typing to take our own blood samples and find our blood type. So it's like 2 parts into our education, which we don't get at our homeschool.
I agree with Fatima, but another difference because of CTE classes that there are collaborations with other classes so that you do get to learn other skills rather than just the class that you're attending. For example, I have had many collaborations with law enforcement, so there's more hands-on activities and as well as the dental assisting class that's taught my class how to brush their teeth and the importance of dental health. So that is definitely a big difference, that there are more collaborations and communications with other classes.
You know, that brings up another question. You mentioned the 3-hour class. Do you feel like you're in a class for 3 hours, or does time fly by?
I think in the beginning of the semester, you really felt the 3 hours, but now it's just kind of part of my day, so I don't have any issue with the time. And we use it well, so it's fine.
Thank you. I'm just trying to bridge the thing that we talked about earlier with the summer school and how the 2-hour time block was a challenge. And we're hearing students that, Metro Ed taking a 3-hour time block, right? And so talks about more of the fundamental lab work or hands-on application of what they're learning to really keep the students engaged. So thank you for sharing your experience.
Any other questions from board members? I just want, from the executive cabinet.
Just want to compliment both of you on your presentation. It was so calming, but also like invigorating. And I, as HR, was thinking to myself, I wish I had positions I could hire you in.
He's absolutely right. Your presentations were on point to be high schoolers. And we can tell that you're confident and something about your education and your family and your internal drive. We can see that's going to take you both very, very far. So we're excited about your futures. And if you need support from any of us in terms of your future pathway, please reach out because we are here to support you as well. So thank you again for your time and being out here on a school night to participate and share your stories. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
So Lieutenant Jordan. Oh, go ahead, man.
Can I just add one?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
To Assistant Superintendent James, never say never, because what we heard from Mary Jude is their potential billing in the future. So
I've heard that too.
yeah, so students in the future come and visit us and explore the potential careers, because you never know.
And then I was going to share with you that in the summer, the city of Milpitas does what's called Summer Youth Force, and it provides internships that are paid for our students in different local companies and offices, such as dental offices. So that's something to look for in the Career Center at Milpitas High School.
If not too much to ask, we also have a couple proud moms here. Could our students get a picture?
Absolutely.
With you wonderful people? Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Item 18 on our agenda, Superintendent's Office adopt Resolution 2026.18, recognizing and honoring November as California Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month.
Resolution 2026-18, recognizing and honoring November as California Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month. Whereas Sikh who originated in Punjab, India, have been living in the United States for more than 120 years. First entered California through the Angel Island Immigration Station in San Francisco.
Whereas the first Sikh pioneers arrived in the U.S. and worked in railroad, lumber, or agricultural jobs, including hundreds employed by Western Pacific Railways in Northern California, where they helped complete a 700-mile stretch of track between Oakland and Salt Lake City, and
whereas there are believed to be about 500,000 to 700,000 Sikhs in the United States, roughly half of them in California and 27 million worldwide. And
whereas Sikh Americans pursue diverse professions and make rich contributions to the cultural and economic vibrancy of California, Sikh Americans have served as members of Congress, mayors, judges, city council members, soldiers, and scientists, and the first Asian American elected to Congress was a Sikh named Dalip Singh Sand from the 29th California district. The largest peach, pistachio, okra, and raisin farms are all owned by Sikh farmers in California. And
the word Sikh means seeker of truth. Sikhism was found 500 years ago when a man named Nanak walked the South Asian subcontinent, teaching that all paths lead to one God. All people are equal, and each of us experience freedom through loving and serving others. And
whereas Sikh values are American values, Sikh community fosters love, equality, and acceptance of all. Like America, Sikhs stand against injustice and inequality wherever it exists.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that Milpitas Unified School District hereby proclaims the month of November as California Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month, and encourages all educators to commemorate this association with appropriate ceremonies, activities, and programs. Passed and adopted by Milpitas School District Board of Education at a meeting held on November 18th, 2025 by the following vote.
Scott, are there any public comments?
We have no public comment at this time.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
We have-
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Motion.
Affirm the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, go ahead.
I affirm the second.
We have a motion and we have an affirmed second. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Seeing none. Motion carries. Item BI, Learning and Development, conduct one reading, adopt the proposed revisions to existing board policies. 5141.52 on suicide prevention, board policy 6142.8 on comprehensive health education, board policy 5131.2 on bullying, and board policy 6143 on course of study. Scott, are there any public comments?
We have no public comment at this time.
The public reading. Want to put it up on the screen?
Yeah, can we one by one put them up? And then Marissa can introduce each policy and then we can go through it.
I can't ask the board, if the board has done their review of of the resolution, the changes, are there any questions that any of the board members have on the changes versus her having to go through them one by one?
Thank you for that.
So,
Yeah, I went through the drafts and I don't have any additional questions.
okay. With that said, is there, and Scott, you've already asked about public comment. Is there a motion?
I motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Affirm the motion to conduct the reading.
Oh, conduct the reading, yeah.
We have a motion to conduct the reading. Is there a second?
Second. I affirm the second, to
We
conduct
have
reading.
confirmation of the second. Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Seeing none? Carries.
So there's a second part to it. Usually we do conduct and then we do another motion after conducting the reading to adopt.
So I believe the motion was to conduct the reading and adopt.
We can amend that to conduct the reading and adopt.
Okay.
So move to amend the motion to conduct one reading and adopt the proposed revisions.
We have requested amendment to the motion to conduct and adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries on the reading and adopting the proposed revisions. Consent items. Consent items are considered routine and will be acted upon by the board in one motion. There is no discussion on these items prior to the motion unless members of the board, staff, or public request that specific items be tabled or removed. Charles. Okay. Are there any items to be removed or tabled for discussion or connection or correction? Field trip.
Yes, I would like to pull the field trips for clarification.
So we have a request to
Pull AI.
AI. So looking for a motion to adopt the consent agenda except for business services item AI.
Motion to approve the consent items, removing AI.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
So Min, do me a favor, explain. I'm not sure if they've ever seen us pull a consent item. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Seeing none, consent items is adopted except for AI, and we'll turn it over to Superintendent Jordan for clarity on the field trip requests.
Thank you, President Norwood. There are 2 field trips listed. Each are listed as 6 students, 1 chaperone traveling by private car. And actually they are traveling by plane. And this is our speech and debate team. We have, the first one is in Utah in December, and the second one is in January in Arizona. And our speech and debate team has traditionally been to many parts of the country with Mr. Schlitzbaum. And on occasion, Mrs. Schlitzbaum or another chaperone will join him. I shared with him that we have a concern now in light of new knowledge that all of our team members have gained in the last year or so around prevention of child abuse and situations that would put potentially our own team members at risk of accusations. And so he's here tonight because he said that he will make sure that he has a second adult with him. And so while this item says one chaperone, it would be two.
So I would make the motion to approve AI with the amendment to the two pointed out field trips to amend as far as private vehicle to aeronautics,
Yes, airplane.
airplane travel with two chaperones instead of one.
Yes. Yes.
So we have a proposed amendment to the field trip based on the new information that we have. Is there a second?
Second.
Or is there any additional discussion?
Question, does it matter if it's one chaperone, like a female or male, or is it like,
It doesn't matter of the gender.
oh, okay.
Okay, we have the motion in a second. There was the additional discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Seeing none, motion carries. Consent item, business services AI approved field trip request is now adopted. Thank you, Mr. Schlesbaum, for coming out and making sure we have that corrected information. Item 20, dates of future board meetings, December 9th, board annual organization meeting, tentative study session 5 p.m., tentative closed session 6 p.m., open session 7 p.m., hybrid on Zoom, YouTube, and Randall World Languages School. Item 21, announcements and reminders.
Just want to wish you, board president, a happy belated birthday. Can't let you slide without wishing you a happy birthday.
We sing?
No, come on, come on, guys.
I just want to welcome them to 60-year-old club, man.
Come on, guys. Come on. Okay. Thank you for that announcement. I will say this about my 60th birthday, which I'm super excited about. I started last year. Is that I started fundraising for Jack Emery for my birthday through my social channels. And this year, my goal was 500, representing the board and the executive cabinet. And I'm about maybe $50 away from that goal. So the community has shown a ton of support. So that I think by the first week of December, we will have reached that $500 goal for Jack Emery. And I don't touch any, it just goes straight from social media to the Milpitas Food Pantry, but I do call out Jack Emery as a part of the process. So I'm super excited about that. And I think that's a tradition that I'm going to continue for many years to come.
You have it tonight.
There it is.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Awesome.
And Chris, I'm going to match your 500.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's what this board does. That's the kind of cool stuff that we do. Thank you for that.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think we can count that towards our district office governance team goal of beating last year's 2,500.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. So we're at 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we're at 1,000 right now. That's fantastic. That's what we do in Milpitas. So thank you. And it was inspired by the meeting at MHS with all of the students, all the elementary schools, and wanting to do so much. And as you know, Jack Emery's been a longstanding tradition in the Milpitas community. As a matter of fact, it started in Milpitas. And I think other school districts do other things, but we are the ones that are known, or you talk to a Milpitas High School graduate over the last 30, 40, 50 years, they'll say, Jack Emery, I remember Jack Emery. So that's a very, very powerful thing that we all do together. So thank you for that. And thank you for all the support. And with that said, there a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Seeing none, motion carries. Meeting adjourned.